Greetings from Cybertron. This is SoundJack here with a review of the Transformers Titans Return Titan Master Ramhorn. So, Ramhorn does make it into this toy line. Ramhorn is nominally a partner of Blaster, so it's kind of surprising he didn't get a cassette for him alongside Rewind and Stripes and them. But he does make it into the toy line, being a Titan Master partner who has a Titan Master vehicle that transforms into his traditional rhinoceros form. The only other thing to note about him is that his head form actually comes from an abandoned concept. This is so very obscure. An abandoned concept of a Headmaster Jr. that would have had a rhino non-head form, primary form or whatever, like how Shuffler was originally an elephant. An elephant that turned into a face. That toy would have been a rhinoceros that turned into a face, but they combined the two to make Ramhorn in this. So that's very interesting. So let us take a closer look at Ramhorn himself. Why can't I say that? Taking a look at his body, he is just brown. There's no color differentiation. Maybe slightly different shading of the browns places of the body, but it looks like at most it's actually just the lighting from what I can tell. But entire brown body, a head that has a tiny little rhino face going on with a silver lower jaw, so you can make that distinction. Tiny silver horn and tiny blue eyes back there. He is the retool of Shuffler. He does have shares most of the same body as Shuffler. The heads are different, but all the details on the rest of the body are the same, though of course the face on the back is different. This is the face that I was talking about that was was the concept design that never made it. It is a very nice face, brown face, silver paint on, well, brown helmet, sorry, silver paint on that face, and some very nice blue eyes. That looks really good in my opinion. It's so nice, so very nice. For articulation, his head can rotate a full 360. His head's a little weirdly shaped, so it's a little hard to get it to turn, because it just curves down so much and there's so much of a curve. It's just a little hard to grab, but it can rotate a full 360 degrees. It's able to bob back and forth, not side to side. The arms are able to bend that far forward, that far back, and that far out to the side, and the legs are able to bend that far forward, that far back, and the knees are able to bend that far back and that far forward. And to transform him, you just collapse him in half, and there he is in his head mode. And that's all there is to say about Ramhorn by himself. So now we'll take a look at his Titan Master vehicle partner. And as you can see, he is a tank with just rhino horns on the top. And they don't do anything, it just looks funny. They're kind of cool. This gap's a little weird, but just the front of just like the tank barrel and the horns coming at you, that looks pretty cool. Most of the body is brown, the treads are brown, the tank barrel is brown, upper section is brown, though this side is gold with some nice missile molding in there. Again, to reference his original toy with the gold side missiles that were on his body, an Autobot symbol right there, and then that's pretty much it. It is a retool of Shuffler's. A bit heavier retool than I would have expected. The side panels here are different to get the missiles in there, and then it's just these things for him, for the Shuffler Time Master vehicle. And then the heads, of course, are obviously completely different. One is an elephant, and one is a rhino. But Ramhorn's interaction is the same, as he can stand in the back of the vehicle by using these two Titan Master ports there to fit into the holes at the bottom of his feet. You just plug it in, and then you get him on there and riding the tank. Though the cool thing is that based on how the toy is molded, there are these ears for the rhino form that end up being like control sticks for him to actually drive the tank. So that's a fun little touch. It's a very fun little touch. There's no rolling or anything. The only articulation is that cannon can bend up and bend down. I guess the horn can as well, but that's more so for transformation because look, there's the rhino head. Don't tell anyone I showed you that yet. But let's get into some size comparisons. So here he is next to Legends class Bumblebee, and you can see how they scale. Deluxe class Chrome Dome, and you can see how they scale. Whoops, sorry, Ramhorn. Voyager class Megatron. You can see how they scale. If I raise the camera up a little bit more, you see how they scale. And Leader class 6-shot. And you can see how they scale. So that's all there's to say on Ramhorn and his Time Master vehicle in this form. So now let's roll right along and get them into their combined form. So we're gonna take Ramhorn off, put him off to the side, and then, as I showed you before, we are just going to collapse the rhino head like so. We are going to fold the legs down, and then we are going to come up here, rotate the head 180 degrees, and fold it down. And there you have the Time Master in the rhino form, and then all you need to do is get Ramhorn in his head mode, and just plug him in there. And there you have the combined form of Ramhorn and his Titan Master vehicle. And there's not much more to talk about. You see the missiles come over the shoulders. They're normally behind the back legs, but this is fine. This still looks really good. You got Autobot symbols there. You got some gold eyes going on there. You got a nice little jaw. Horns are nice. Ears are nice. Nothing else to talk about really, because everything else was shown in the vehicle form, except now you got a bright red serial code number thing right there. If the lighting isn't gonna like glare on it, can you see it? Yeah, you can kind of see it. It's really hard to get it going in this light, but it's bright red in person. That's actually a little annoying because it's on that really dark brown. Oh, by the way, there are two variations of this, one of a lighter brown and one of a darker brown. I believe mine is the darker brown variation, if you're curious, but I cannot guarantee that, but that I picked this up at an Aldi, and from my understanding, the darker brown variation is the one that was being picked up at Aldi. If I'm wrong, someone correct me. But for Ramhorn's form itself, since it's a rhino form, it is a beast form, so there is some articulation. Actually, there is no articulation for the head. It's all on that swivel there, and because of how these panels come up, this actually locks into place, so the head is only able to like move up and move down. I guess you can like get his head to lower so he can like charge at you and like then or something, but you are breaking the face a bit. So if you think that counts, the tail waggles up and down, legs are able to bend that far forward and that far back, front legs able to bend that far forward and that far back, and nothing too complex with that. But let us get into some robot mode size comparisons. Here he is next to Legends class Bumblebee, and you can see how he scales. Deluxe class Chrome Dome. Just a little crooked. There you are. See that. Oh no, Megatron, do not step on rhinos. That is bad. But there is Voyager Megatron, as you can see. Leader class 6-shot. You can see that scale. And then, of course, here he is with the channel's mascots, Soundwave and Wheeljack, so you can see how he looks next to them. Yeah. Of course, as with other Titan Master class characters, he is able to turn into a weapon mode, so let's lower down the camera a little bit and get him into the weapon mode. So what you need to do is you need to come up here, fold the head down, fold that around, fold that we'll just fold it back a bit. Fold these legs forward, fold the head down, and there you go, Ramhorn in his weapon mode. I'm not exactly sure what you're supposed to do with the head. I know for Shuffler it was just kind of hanging down there. I guess this would be the most appropriate position, or the best placed position for the rhino head. So you got a missile launcher with a couple of spikes coming out from underneath. So like, you blast someone apart, and then someone still comes at you, and you're out of ammo, and then you're just like, I don't know. But he does have the 5mm post. Can be held by any character with a 5mm post for a hole in their hand. And yeah, nice weapon mode. Nice little weapon mode, I will say. Just give up the peg, Chrome Dome. At least you didn't tear your hand off today. Then I'm just going to transform him back really quick. Pull Ramhorn's actual head out of there. And yeah, overall, it's a very neat character. It's very interesting how obscure like that face design is, and it's interesting that they combined that with an actually existing character to create a toy that would have been a lot better than whatever toy they would have made for his smart tablet mode, if he had one of those Legends scale figures. Shuffler, I think, is a better toy because the rhino head's just a little weird. Just a little weird in any mode that's not the rhino mode. But it's still based off what I think is the best toy, so I think it's still a very good toy. And if you get the chance, you definitely should pick it up. But that is all I have to say on Ramhorn, so thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please like and share this video and subscribe to the channel. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at SoundJack426. Also, please consider donating on my Patreon page to help support the channel. All the links will be in the description below. Thanks for tuning in. This is SoundJack signing off.